What's up, you guys? It's Rob here. Happy Sunday. Happy April 2nd. Congratulations, you did survive April Fool's Day. Maybe you're a little bit of a prankster and you pulled a couple pranks on people. Hope they went successfully. Or maybe you're like me and you're a very gullible person and someone tried to pull a couple pranks on you and you had to look down at your phone and be like, it's April 1st. I got you guys, kind of thing. Because I had a couple pulled on me and I was like, wait. It's April 1st. I know they're lying to me. So anyways, enough about that, guys. Really, the quarter did close on Friday, so we got to take a look at those 3-month candles because it will help us with our long-term swings in this market. And really, if anyone tells you in this market you can't swing, they're absolutely lying to you because I've been swinging and I've been hella profitable this year. But before we dive in, do me a huge favor, drop a like down this video, hit that subscribe button, make sure you're ringing that bell for YouTube algorithm. It really does help out a lot. But let's dive on in and take a look at the charts, which you guys are here for. So really, on the month, looking at all the indices real quickly, we've pretty much got QQQ, SPY, DIA, and IWM is the only one that doesn't have full time frame continuity because the month did finish red. So when we take a look at these, if you're a stratter, you see a 2 down, a 2 down, you got a failed 2 down here, and you got a 2 up. So what we're going to be thinking, okay, well, this is like a bearish Randy Jackson setup here on the quarter. But let me tell you one thing. We got a long ways to go before we can even think about that. Like 50% of the quarter is 398.07. So maybe you can start thinking about it then. But with the way that these quarterly candles closed and the monthly candles closed, we're looking pretty darn good here. We got a failed 2 down on the month for SPY. So I'm expecting this thing to pretty much trigger up right away and you get that 2-2 reversal. You know where your first PT is going to be on the month. Let me pull out my horizontal array here. You know your first PT on the month is going to be at 418.31. So really, what we saw for the whole entire week was pretty much chop last week. We kind of chopped around here, and then we saw gap ups and gap downs. Like no tomorrow, and then Friday it was just like everyone came in and just bought because everything was on fire Friday. When we take a look here at the Qs, really, you can see you gap down here into Tuesday and then gap up, and gap up. And the whole thing that I want to say is, yes, we are in a very bullish time of the year, but just keep in mind that we might have to fill those gaps before we go higher, kind of thing. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Monday we see like another new high kind of thing, but then Tuesday we do kind of retrace back. I wouldn't be surprised by that. But taking a look here at the Qs, that 2 down, 2 up, kind of different than the SPY because the SPY had a failed 2 down kind of thing. But we have a nice 2 up here on the quarter. I won't be surprised if we trigger pretty much right on Monday. We trigger up, you know, your first PT is 334.42. Now remember, I had that crazy idea of maybe going outside quarter kind of thing. I'm just putting it out there. It might happen kind of thing. But you take a look here at the month, you got the outside month, so you got your 2. So we're going to be looking at that failed 2 up, 3-2 continue, like 3-2 up kind of thing. And we know immediately 334.42 is going to be that PT. Now we take a look here at DIA, Dow Jones Diamonds. Like you can just see the whole entire week. Literally, Monday we pretty much gapped up, Tuesday we gapped down, and then Wednesday was gap up, Thursday gap up, Friday we gapped up a little bit and continued to run to the moon pretty much. We did hit our weekly price targets here at 332.42 on the Dow Jones. On the month here for the Dow Jones, you have that 3-2 down, and you have a failed 2 down that looks like a hammer. So what you're immediately thinking is your 3-2 down, 2 up, and you're going to take a look here right at 343.53 is going to be that PT on the month. Now the interesting thing about the Dow Jones, the Dow Jones has a 3-1, which is called a holy grail. You have your inside bar, which means you've pretty much chopped within a range. It's also got an extremely thin body as well. So you know it's pretty much a doji candle. So you just pretty much got to play the breaks of both sides on this candle. So you want to play the break of 314.97 for puts, or you want to play that break of 343.53 to the upside, and then you know your first price target on the quarter is going to be your 348.22. So really just keeping these setups in mind, guys, the higher time frames using your multi-time frame analysis is going to be very beneficial to formulating a successful plan using the strat. Now, if we take a look here at IWM as well, IWM is by far the weakest personally. And just full disclaimer, I do have a short position on IWM. So you got that, we were talking about this massive 2 down candle on the week. We got that 2 up. But you notice on the week, IWM, if you're a stratter, is setting up for a 2 down, 2 up. What are we looking for? Bears are injection. We're looking for that 2 down. So if we get that 2 down here at 172.36, I have a very quick feeling this PT here is going to come very quickly of 167.47, because IWM is definitely very weak compared to the other indices. On the month, you got this 2 up, your 2 down hammer. So on the monthly, we're leaning bullish here kind of thing. So, but we got a long ways to go before we're going to trigger that 2 up at 191.93. So we got a definite distance to go to trigger that 2 up. So we'll have to play your triggers. No trigger, no trade is my rule. By far on the quarter, really you have your 1, 2 down, 2 up kind of thing. But if we remove all the draw lines here, let's remove all these, clean up the chart a little bit. You take a look at this. This candle doesn't show a lot of confidence and push in the bullish. You see a 2 up. We pretty much triggered. We almost met PT, but then we came all the way back down. So IWM is definitely the weakest indice so far. But let's dive on in here and take a look at our watch list. The watch list pretty much was gorgeous. NFLX definitely did a Uno reverse card on me, to say the least. But Netflix, good lord, Netflix, just this is going to be a stock to watch. XLC and XLK definitely were strong performers in the first quarter so far, which is your technology and your communication sectors within the S&P. But on the week, got that 2-2 continuation. What did we get? We got our price target here at 344.13, and what was our trigger here at 3? Why do I have 2 lines here? Looks like our trigger was at 331.83. So it's definitely a decent move. We hop back here to the daily time frame. You can see what happens when you break these trend lines. These things move. Now we do have gaps to the downside that we're gonna have to mind. So just remember, mind your gaps. Netflix, check. Microsoft, this play, like I had a position on it. Full disclaimer here, on Monday, Monday, we gapped down on Tuesday. It stopped me out on Tuesday, but then if you take a look at the hourly time frame, what do we have here? We have a trend line break to the upside, and what did we do? Gap, go, kind of thing. And that was the beautiful thing. Is yeah, we did get stopped out. What you do is you formulate your plan, you look for your A+ setup, and sometimes you get those gap and goes and you never get a chance to get back in. But this was absolutely beautiful. Like, I was annoyed that I got stopped out on it on Tuesday, but I just was patient with it, drew my trend lines, was patient, looked for it, reversed, and you got a nice 2 down here hammer, and then went 2 up, and it was just pretty much see you later kind of thing. All right, now let's take a look here. DE. I'm telling you guys, the power of trend lines. You literally got a trend line here on the daily time frame. We break this trend line, 2 up, 2 up, 2 up, 2 up. And the crazy thing about this, none of these retrace back to their 50%. It was like, nope, there's no reason to get out of this trade. There's nothing at all. There was no retracement. And DE is definitely one I'm going to be watching here going in. We got that 2 down. We got that 2-1, 2 up. Look for that, hopefully 2-2 continuation here on the week, on the monthly time frame. You got a 2 down, and you can see that buyers are definitely stepping in here at this level of 380.26. So that's definitely a point to keep in mind. On the 3-month as well, you got that 2-1 set up here. I bet you bet you if we do a retrace of this candle here on the monthly, what did we do? We retraced about 50%, probably down to the 61.8% retracement, and we pulled back up. What are we going to be looking for at that point? You know, if you're a fib trader, the negative 0.236 is what you're going to be looking for. Now, if we hop over here and take a look at BA, good Lord, BA. Like, good Lord, like I was not expecting this to move so quickly, but it absolutely moved. So on the weekly coming in, we had a 2 down inside bar setup. So you play your break of 207.86 and we got a decent sized move here. It looks like we might have wicked our first PT. Yeah, we wicked our first PT here on the daily. You do have a shooter, so it might be one of those things where we might come back down, retest this trend line, and then go. And let me tell you one thing, if you come back, retest, and go, it's like a see you later kind of thing. It's absolutely beautiful. But BA, full time frame continuity to the upside. Let's take a look at NFLX. NFLX on the week, I was looking for this to go down, and it said, haha, you're funny. Now, the very interesting thing about NFLX, we have a double inside bar pattern on the weekly. And what's really interesting is we have this volume imbalance as well down here. So if we take a look at this, double inside weeks don't happen often. And if you just play the break of these things, it's just a game changer. So play the break here of 214.19 and you got your PTs immediately to the upside right here, 221.49. And you got another one here, 230.44. And you know you got an 11.82 ATR on the daily. Oh boy, like definitely gonna be a mover. NFLX was like the one banger on the one non-banger, I should say, on the watch list for the whole entire week. Now, if we take a look at good old Mickey D's, gotta love your sweet tea, your quarter pounders, your dollar menu. If that's still a thing, I haven't had McDonald's in God knows how long. But if we take a look here at the weekly, oh boy, 2 down, 2 up, 2 up, and McDonald's is pushing all-time highs. That is the crazy part about this. McDonald's pushing all-time highs here. We wicked our first PT of 279.90 and we didn't get that 281.67, which would have been a new all-time high. So I'm definitely going to be looking for Mickey D's going into this next week and what it's going to do. Once again, you got that trend line break, boom, and you're off to the moon kind of thing. You see you got a good amount of volume stepping in here too, so wouldn't be surprised if we get that 2-2 continuation. But remember, play both sides of the market, guys. Now, Mickey D's, check. CrowdStrike. Oh boy, Crowd. Crowd was like a head faker for me. I was not ready for this one. So Monday, we have a 2 down here. We barely triggered. We break this trend line. And when you break the trend lines to the downside, you got to keep in mind, like, that's not a good sign to see kind of thing. And like normally once you break these trend lines, you tend to move very quickly. But you can see we got that 2 down. We pretty much hit about 50% of this candle here on the 15th of March and bounced back up, got an inside bar and market. Uno reverse card. Here you go. Sorry, puts. Here's your calls. And then we're back all the way up here. We're looking to grab liquidity here on this 3 bar at 138.33. Full time frame continuity to the upside. CrowdStrike was a little bit of a head faker, like just a little bit hesitant on it, but hey, it definitely did pay us if we're patient kind of thing. You got to be patient in this market, guys. Now let's take a look at PANW. PANW, my baby. I'm gonna fully admit, I definitely slept on this one this week. PANW is just gonna take off. Like the stock is primed once again for new all-time highs. Around 211.63 would be what I'm looking at. But if we zoom back in here on the weekly time frame, we got that 2 up continuation. You can really see this stock just kind of chopped around in a range. And as soon as we broke this level here on this 2, yeah, let's actually delete all this kind of stuff first. And then once we broke this level of 196.12, it's almost considered a market structure shift because we never really got to close, if you really want to be picky about it, above 194.49. And as soon as we got that, we were off to the moon kind of thing. And now we just have to look to the left of where's PANW going. Looks like he wants to fill this fair value gap all the way up here. It's going to be our target for where the incoming future. Now, just remember, we are going in the earnings and all that kind of stuff, so just be vigilant, be on your toes, be patient with the market, guys. But really, overall, for the whole entire week, Watchlist absolutely knocked it out of the park. The one downside was NFLX. The market does look good going in. We got good old Rusty. That's definitely the weakest index out of them all. So it's going to be a very interesting quarter to see how things pan out, guys. But really, that's all I got for you today in the recap, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.